thought, what a perfect way to kick off 2018 than back in my old bedroom, back at home in Birmingham, with really bad lighting because I don't have any studio lights here, and putting my camera on 2 psychology textbooks that I still own and a massive box. I feel like I've almost come full circle. So I just want to say off straight away, I really hope everyone had a fantastic holiday season, whether you celebrated it, whatever you celebrated. If you didn't celebrate, I hope it wasn't too rough. I said this on my Instagram story, I know the holidays can be really rough for a lot of people, so I hope you all pulled through, you made it through, and you are positive moving into the new year. So you probably noticed I took a little bit of a hiatus between Christmas Day and New Year's, and a lot of YouTubers do this for a reason. It's just a really great time to, especially because a lot of people are back at home. This is my first Christmas back with my family in 4 years. So it was a big deal, and I really wanted to see as many people as I could, reconnect with friends from my past, just have a really good time and surround myself with people I love. And I'm really glad I kind of stepped back for a whole week off of YouTube, but I've been itching to get back because no one's done this on YouTube. I thought it'd be a great idea that we look back on 2017 and kind of see the journey that I took. So this is going to be a bit of a chatty video probably. I've got my laptop here and I've got some notes, and we'll run through the travel-y stuff but also personal stuff and really kind of like dive deep into a lot of things, because the past year hasn't been my finest year. It really hasn't. There's been a lot of ups and downs. And I can look back on other years of my travels or at university and they all like kicked ass, and I feel at the end of this year really didn't kick ass for me. And you're gonna get years in your life like that. I was on a pretty good run of like 7 years straight of just epic living, give or take some bad experiences here and there, but this one, I don't know, I'm actually happy to see it over. And that's the first time I've ever felt like that. But I have made my notes, so let us jump back into the year, which was 2017. So in January, behind the scenes, Scott and I had kind of decided that we wanted to make the move back to Europe because we were getting major travel burnouts after like 3.5 years of like solid like living away from home, constantly on the go, trying to find places to stay and live and explore, and in the end it can just get really tiring and exhausting. So we kind of made the decision that we somehow wanted to get back to Europe and find a base, primarily probably in Eastern Europe or Central Europe. We reigned in the new year in 2017 in Bangkok in that beautiful apartment building we found on Airbnb. And also in January I hit 100,000 subscribers. Come on. 100,000 little psychos. That was an insane moment for me that I never ever imagined would ever happen. And I'm so damn grateful for every one of you being here. January, it really felt like things were looking up, and you'll notice in the first half of this year, we didn't move barely at all, and that's because we decided we needed to save money to get back to Europe and get a deposit on an apartment for 12 months and kind of do that. But we did get to see a bit more of Thailand in January. We went to Krabi and Railay Beach and Koh Lanta, and it was really nice, it was beautiful, it was so much fun, and I was really happy to see a little bit more of Thailand down south instead of up north, which is where we spent the majority of 2016. February was a really slow month for me, again because we were just saving so much money. We couldn't really justify, we had made a priority that going back to Europe was our thing. So we moved back to Kuala Lumpur and got an apartment, and I think we stayed in that apartment for a couple of months. But seriously, February was very uneventful. Coming into March, I threw myself a lot into writing the final part of my book because my book is split up into 3 parts. I will probably do a separate video on my book and where it's taking us through into 2018 in my bucket list video, which will be coming next week. But we pretty much stayed still. We did take a trip to Malacca, which was a lot of fun. Really nice place in Malaysia if you want to go somewhere quite cool and hip. But I really just threw myself into writing and again saving. And April came along and we decided to take a trip to Singapore. Now, April was the month that I could have really skipped, and I'd never wish it on anyone, and I don't think I'd survive it again. But it's the month that I got dengue fever. Now, if you don't know, dengue fever is a mosquito-borne virus disease that you catch, and it basically suppresses your bone marrow, which means it kind of kills your platelets, kills your white blood cell count, and which is very dangerous, by the way. It kind of like plummets them to sometimes ridiculously fatal levels. Mine got really low, really low, and they were like, if they don't go back up, you're at risk of stroke and just random bleeding from your face, because if you don't have any platelets, you can't clot, and it's bad times. Luckily I made it through, but that was 2 weeks out of that month that I was bedbound. I was put into hospital. I almost collapsed in the road in Singapore. I couldn't eat. My temperature was like through the roof. I was in writhing pain for 14 days. But that was the first start of the month, and then we moved back to Thailand because at this point we had booked our flights back to Europe, and we were really pumped. We were like, are we ever gonna do this? Is there ever gonna be a good time? Are we ever gonna save enough money? And you know what? We're just like, we found the flights, let's just book them. So dengue, booked it, back to Bangkok for 1 more month. We wanted to pick somewhere we knew we could budget the hell out of a 1 month stay. And we do love Bangkok, and that is where we booked our flight from because it was super cheap. So come around to May, we had left Bangkok and we headed to Budapest. We both decided on Budapest as a base, and even to this day, I'm super happy with that decision. I got to experience a lot of reverse culture shock, which was very bizarre and odd, but it is a thing. Coming back to like a Western civilization again, and it's just very weird, like drinking from the taps, having actual pavements to walk on where there are not 300 bikes chasing up your ass. And we spent the time looking for an apartment, which actually we got our apartment like at the last minute, and we were actually going to move into somewhere. Looking back, oh my god, thank god we did not move in there. We found the dream. I had an image of an apartment that I wanted, because if you think about it, we had 4 years of not living anywhere. We were just hopping place to place, and it got to the point, and I know a lot of you know the story, so I'm not gonna ramble too much about it. We got to the point where I especially needed a place that I could leave my bag and do my thing. And I was like, can we do this? This is leveling up, and it's something I'm really proud of in 2017, to be able to, 1, have a home, and 2, still travel as much as you want within reason, you know. That was a big thing, like professionally, business-wise, financially, I wanted to achieve, and hell yeah, we bloody achieved it. So come around to June, we had settled into our new apartment, and like I said, it was like the dream apartment. It had tall walls, really tall ceilings and massive windows, these huge grand doors, and it was a very European city apartment. It was 75 square meters. It was way bigger than what I even need anymore, but I love my apartment so much. It's just like everything I ever imagined when I wanted to come back to Europe and settle down. I did make a trip back to the UK in June, which was my first trip back there in like 2 years. So that was kind of crazy. It was really nice, and I actually went up to Liverpool because I was filming a campaign with Barefoot Wine. That was a phenomenal experience. I had so much fun doing that, and that was like a huge moment for me, like business-wise, to work with such a massive company on values that were so close to my heart. And I had a lot of fun filming that. I learned a lot, and it was just an overall phenomenal experience. Come to July, and that's when actually we set up the first Everywhere Challenge. Now, if you're not familiar with the Everywhere Challenge, it is where I go live every so often. It's normally every couple of months, and I haven't been able to do one recently because of New York, and I've got India coming up, so there's not going to be one for a while. I'm going to try and restructure how I'm going to take the Everywhere Challenge into 2018. Again, that will be in the bucket list video. But I sit down on a live stream, I bring up Skyscanner, I type in Budapest to everywhere, and I take the top 3 recommended cheapest flights, and I put them in a poll on a card, and you all vote within 10 minutes live where I go, and I book it live. It was fantastic, and where I went there was Sofia. Did I go in that month? Did I go? Yes, I did. So I headed to Bulgaria, and I was super excited. I got to explore Sofia, and oh, what an amazing city. I really, really want to go back to Bulgaria and explore. Then I got to meet one of you guys, and you took me around Plovdiv, and oh my god, what a beautiful little town, jeez. And she drove us out there, and I got to see the beautiful countryside of Bulgaria. and we talked. I learned so much about the culture, and I just wanted more and more and more of Bulgaria. It's a phenomenal country that I really want to hit up again, maybe next year. This year, damn it. Now, August started to bring in a lot more travel. I really wanted to see more of Hungary, so we went to like Szentendre and Visegrad, and saw some little places around Budapest that really give us a really nice taste for the country that we had started settling into so much. But August was also the month that I went away with Airbnb and Babbel on that crazy like 6-day adventure. We went to Paris, Barcelona, Rome and Berlin within 6 days. It was insanity. If you missed any of those videos, I will link them up there on my channel. They are crazy videos. I was exhausted. That trip almost outright killed me. But what an experience. I learned a lot in that experience, business-wise and personal-wise. I'll leave it at that. It just taught me a lot, more than any other campaign, more than any experience, more than any trip has. Within 6 days, I think that's why it's so intense. It just blew my mind, and it's something I'll always hold very dear and I'll always refer back to in times of need. But also in August, to round it off, I actually celebrated 4 years of travel, which was pretty phenomenal. September was pretty quiet. We did another Everywhere challenge and Scott joined me on that one, and that was actually the live stream. The Skyscanner themselves came into the chat, Adrian, and saw what I was doing, because you all mass tweeted Skyscanner whilst I was live telling them about this whole thing that we'd started. And I found flights to Milan to go for like 2 or 3 days, and we really wanted them, and suddenly before I knew it, Jen from Skyscanner super chatted me £100 to book the flights. Like, it just popped up. My mouth, oh my god. Oh, it was a moment. It was a real moment.
Yes, everyone, hashtag Skyscanner sponsor Ali. You heard the people, Skyscanner, really. You gotta give the people what they want. It will be a celebration. I'd do it without them. I'd give them all the promote. I just wouldn't be able to do it without their resources. I got so many ideas. Oh, snap. Oh, no. It's like when you're talking about your crush and then you're talking about them really wildly and then they just like appear and you're like, oh my god. Skyscanner just super chatted £100. Are you kidding me? Oh my god! Oh my god, I might actually cry.
October was the turning point for me in 2017, big time. It wasn't the moving to Europe thing at all. It was definitely when I went to Indonesia. I'd been to Indonesia before, and then I got an email from the tourism board saying, Ali, do you want to come on a trip around Indonesia? And I was like, no, that sounds terrible. So I go on this wild trip with all these other Instagrammers and photographers and bloggers and vloggers, and I met the most incredible people. I was so overly inspired. They are so close to my heart. Every single person on that trip, the crew and the other bloggers, loved them all to bits, and we became a family. And this was a turning point for me because, and this is something I never really discussed, that trip changed my life. It showed me what was out there, and being able to connect with other professionals within my field for the first time really made me consider where I wanted to go next, and I had to completely reorganize my life. Whether I did that in the right way we'll soon find out. I still don't know. I'm very confident with my decisions of how I changed my life. Yeah, we'll move on to the next month. November brought another Everywhere challenge. Wow, we actually had 3. We're on 3, yeah, because I went to Prague, and again, I met one of you guys. You took me around. I had a great time. Prague is one of my favorite cities now. It is stunning. It is beautiful. It's everything you think Prague will be and more. I also went to Warsaw in Poland, my first time going to Poland, and I've always wanted to go. I wanted to do a really big trip in Poland, and after going to Warsaw for like 4 days, I fell in love. It was a photographer's dream, that city, the old city and stuff. Oh, these beautiful old colourful buildings and just a really nice vibe about Warsaw. And when I got there, everything was going right. Everything felt right. I was walking around the city like I lived there and I'd never been there before. And it felt so good. And I was like, could I live here? And that went on to a whole different tangent in my head. And then coming to last month, December. I failed Vlogmas. What? No? What? No, I didn't. That's a lie. Shut up. I released merch, which I am so effing proud of. And a lot of you have asked if they're going to be back up for sale. I'm going to sort something out. I've just got a lot going on. I'll talk about that in a minute. But the merch went really well. You'll all be receiving them soon because I just got my order through to say that they're ordered and dispatched for me, and they're super exciting to get more because I already have some. I'm gonna get some more, yay. And then I went to New York. Now the thing is, I share a lot with you when I book things. I'll go live because I just can't help myself. I'm like a child. If I book a big trip, I gotta tell you somehow that I've booked it. I kept New York a goddamn secret for months. Now the thing is with New York, it was my childhood dream to visit New York near Christmas, and because every film you watch, my favourite Christmas film is Miracle on 34th Street, Home Alone's a classic, but you see New York at Christmas in films and on TV and you're like, oh my god, and I saw these cheap flights, like ridiculously cheap flights to JFK, and I just booked them. Like one morning I just sat with my coffee and I was like, you know what, I'm sick to death of putting off countries like this. This was a few months before December, and that makes sense why I'm saying that. Oh, happy days, my camera just overheated after filming for 15 minutes. Okay, added to the list of things to buy in 2018. So I don't know where it really cut out, but I'm pretty sure I was talking about booking New York because I was just so sick of having so many places on my bucket list and just not ticking them off. So I was like, screw it, I'm going to New York, I'm gonna live out my dream, and I did. And if you missed the vlogs, oh my god, you missed out on some vlogs. They're all on my channel. They were the last vlogs that I put up for Christmas, and that's why I booked India. It's a country that, you know, I'm gonna talk about more about India in a different video, but it was just a country that it scared me a little bit. I think it scares a lot of people, like, oh, traveling for the first time alone as a woman in India, how is that gonna be? And you know, I was like, you either love or hate India, I've heard. Like, everyone said that. So I want to fucking find out if I love it or hate it. And there's only one way to do that. And that's where we're going. In 2 weeks. Because apparently my clock is a calendar. My watch is a calendar. Alright, so I'm going to run through some travel stats. I went to 14 countries this year. 6 of them were for the first time. I stayed in 14 Airbnbs, 2 hostels, and 6 hotels, might have been 7. And I took a grand total of 33 flights. When I look back on 2017, it was definitely a year of big decisions and change, which definitely disrupted my content. I also purposefully played and experimented with the types of content I was creating to see what worked. But the thing is, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And I think that was my problem. I wanted to innovate, but I wasn't innovating anything. But I wanted to change it up, and I realized now I didn't have to do that really. I wanted to see what worked, and I started traveling to film a video instead of filming because I was traveling, if that makes sense. I would plan places to go because I thought it would be a good video, because that's what people said. Why don't you go there and like plan all your videos in advance and like do travel guides? I'm like, okay, yeah, because that's what people want. Instead of just following my ass around having all these unstructured vlogs. But you guys love unstructured messes of videos, I have discovered, because they're the best ones on my channel. So you know what? 2018 is going to be the year of fuck it. Fuck it. Because 2017 sucked apples. It can go away. Go. I am going to be documenting this next year of awesomeness. I've got some big decisions to make. I'm going to be talking more about them in my next week's video, so I'm not going to touch too much on them here. But it's going to be a massive year of figuring my life out again, because right now I'm feeling really lost in life. Like, insanely lost. And I'm starting to figure it all out over the past month or two. I'm starting to come around and figure stuff out. And it's been really good doing this, to look back and compare it to other years of my life and just kind of put things into perspective a bit. So thank you from the bottom of my heart, Everyone says this, whatever, I don't care. I mean it, I know I mean it, you know I mean it. Thank you so much for sticking with me through when I'm experimenting with ridiculous videos, if my quality takes a nosedive, when I'm not feeling great, and when a year hasn't been packed full of crazy travel like it has in previous years, but you guys still stick with me, and thank you so much. It's been a big year of discovery. I've had a lot of fun, and I have had a lot of down moments in my personal life, which you don't know about. And it's been a lot this year for me. It's been a hell of a lot, and I am happy to see the back of it, and I am so excited because right now, guys, anything can happen, and I'm going in with the mentality of fuck it. I'm off to India in 2 weeks. I've got some crazy travels coming up next year, and I've also got some big life decisions to make, and I want to document it all just like I used to on this channel. No overthinking everything, just taking you along for the ride, which is my life, and I hope you enjoy. Right, before I go, I am going to do a shout out to my patrons. If you don't know, I have a Patreon. It's where people can go over and support me writing my book, and I have the best community. We all have a Facebook page. It's like a private closed group where we all chat to each other, and it's a lot of fun, and thank you so much. It's never a mandatory thing to be a part of my Patreon, but thank you so much for everyone who is. I love your faces. Right, let us shout you out.
Ooh, okay, what are we doing? Where are we going? I don't even know. Okay!
So we have Mia. Mia, I love you to bits. Mia has become a huge part of the Little Psycho community, and I love your input in our live streams, and thank you so much for recently becoming a patron. Also David, I hope you're feeling well and you've had a great Christmas. Melissa, Sean, Troy, and Peter, mwah. Betsy and Leanne, I hope you had a lovely Christmas and New Year, sweetheart. Elizabeth, Gordon, and Wendy. Angus, Heather, Chad, and Brooke. Aaron, Rebecca, Sam, and Debbie, thank you all so much. Luke, Danilo, Mara, and Ron. Ron, how you doing, Ron? Gail, Cynthia, and Temmie. Jacqueline, Clara, and Katrina. Jacqueline, James, and Peter. Natalie, Alan, Veronica, yes, and I'm going to say Alan, and I know it's not going to be right, but thank you, Alan, I'm going to call you Alan. Christine, Angela, and Exes? That is a sexual name. Sheree, you have like the most exotic names. I thought I had exotic, no, I thought I had a good name. Sheree. Hello. Megan, Timothy, and Morciano. Mara, Claire, and Scott. Holly, Tanya, and Lika. And Natalie, Todd, and Chloe. Dan, Savannah, and Yale. Maxie, Becky, Kayla, and Brittany. Terry, Emmy, David, and Ashley. Michael, Annie, and Karen. Hope you had a lovely new year. Raoul, Laura, and Mara. Megan, and Marjolaine. Did I get it right that time? I don't think I did. Marjolaine? She's a very exotic name. Kelly, Sophie, and Axel. Merry Christmas. Jennifer, Charlotte, and Andre. Hannah, the Bearded Clam, and Mina. Rachel, Pop, Alice, John, and Lucy. Lisa, Patricia, and Mariano. Sarah, Natasha, and Caitlin. Tristan, Bojan. Good lord. I'm really sorry for butchering all of your names. The Tripping Nomad. I like it. Anthony, Rory, Erica, Sandra, Jenny, and Sophie, Kirsten, Mason, Daniel, and Simon. Thank you all so much. I hope all of my patrons, I hope you had a fantastic Christmas, Hanukkah, just the 25th of December, and I hope you had a wonderful New Year. And let us start as we mean to go on. In our sweatpants with a jumper, with some bad lighting, with my camera back on boxes and psychology textbooks. Oh my god. Alright, I will see you probably on Wednesday or Friday, hopefully Wednesday, and my bucket list video will be coming. I'm going to film that when I get back in Budapest. Don't know how I'm going to film yet. I've got some ideas, so I want to do when I get back home, which will be very soon. I will be back in Budapest before I fly out to India. So that's all exciting, but I'm going to go because my camera has started overheating again because it just has no stamina. Alright, so yeah, I hope you had a fantastic year, and if you liked the video, then let me know, and I will see you soon.